Hey guys, welcome to Honeycomb. My name is KO. A couple days ago, Atmos opened up in Manila, and that's why we have these bags, because we were privileged enough and honored to be invited to the official opening of Atmos. The brand has not existed here in the Philippines until today. If you're not familiar, Atmos is a Japanese sneaker store. The founder started by buying sneakers that were not available in Japan. It's funny because you hear this story in reverse so often of people going to Japan, buying the colorways there and selling them in the US. But it happened the other way around, where he was flying to the US, getting colorways there and bringing them back and selling them in Japan. And then eventually, when those accounts and those colorways were available in Japan, his store started carrying them officially. Since that day, Atmos has gone on to make several very high-heat collaborations. Every time Atmos has a collaboration, it's always something really interesting. Now, before we dive into what sneakers these are, the pop-up itself was kind of weird. It was basically in a what used to be a restaurant, an empty space inside of One Bonifacio in BGC. They will be opening their store in about 2 months from now, the official store, and it's massive. It's got a 6-meter ceiling. It's also in the same building in BGC. Now, they will be opening their store eventually. They're saying about 2 months from now. They just have to finish the kit out, but the design's all there. They just got to install it. And that's supposed to happen in about 2 months. In the meantime, they're operating out of this pop-up store, which is basically a foyer with branding, or at least when we went, a foyer with branding, a line that runs through the kitchen, because it used to be a restaurant, and then the stock room. And the stock room is actually where the sneakers were all on display and where you could buy sneakers. And they had a lot of high heat items from different brands. It is a multi-brand store, similar to, say, a Commonwealth. But a lot of what was on display and a lot of what people were clamoring for and really lining up and getting stacks of were Jordans and Nikes, Nike sportswear collaboration items, stuff that haven't been available, high heat items that are hard to get. And as a result, we came home with these. All right, so this first sneaker, I went to the opening with a few friends of mine, a few artists. And I mean, I had a lot of friends who were there, but the ones who we went together were Keith 6 from Black 6, and Yok Joaquin. So Yok, I'm actually wearing a t-shirt from Anything for Love. Yok Joaquin, if you don't follow him on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. And then Kiefer actually picked up this pair of sneakers. I asked him if I could show you guys. This has been a pair of shoes that's been pretty hard to get your hands on, especially here in Manila. Size 11/9.5, so it is a women's colorway of the Zoom Vomero 5. So the way that works is that the women's size is 11, and the men's size is 9.5. Open up the box, and this is the Zoom Vomero 6 Photon Dust Chrome Gridiron colorway. Sorry, I think I might have said it's a Vomero 6. It's not, it's a Vomero 5. This doesn't communicate well in photos, by the way, but in video you can see that these, this overlay panel and the Nike swoosh are all in chrome. I did try them on in store. True to size, ridiculously comfortable. The entire outsole, midsole is done with Cushlon, which is one of Nike's softest foams. And the whole thing is really light, and it has that retro 2000s runner vibe to it. On the insole, got a great picture of Bill Bowerman, and it says Bowerman series. I wonder why. Maybe the Vomero was originally designed by Bill Bowerman. Up next, we won't spend too much time on this one because we do have another video about it already. Air Jordan 1, lost and found. Now, KO, you might say, you already have a pair of these. Didn't you get them last year when they dropped? And yes, I did get them last year when they dropped. I wore them right away, so I don't feel like I want to save them. But every time I wear them, I feel like, man, I need to make sure that when I'm wearing them, I'm getting like everything I want out of them. Like I'm maximizing because every time you use them, they move further and further away from being brand new. And I do like the feeling of having a brand new pair of these. So I did the sneakerhead thing and got one to stock. One to rock, one to stock. If you want to know more about the lost and found, we have a video about it on the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. But, you know, Atmos opened up. It's not a resale store, guys. So everything is SRP retail price. So these were both around 9,000 pesos. I think that this one is 9,800. The one that I got at Jordan store, I actually paid more for, just to be completely clear with you guys, because I was required to buy a t-shirt at Jordan Manila that came in the package with my original lost and found. So I paid more than 10,000 pesos. So I actually got these ones for cheaper. I saved the best for last. Well, maybe not best, because this is pretty good. These are both pretty good. This one's fantastic. But it is a sneaker that I have waited a year for. And that's because I joined raffles for this sneaker and I didn't win any of the raffles. But today, let's go through all the unboxing on this one. On the front, you have a Nike swoosh logo. This is an Air Max 1 box, and you have some nice print on the front, giving us a hint of what it is. And on the side, it says Concepts, Nike swoosh. And then the size tag says Nike Air Max 1 SP Special Projects Multicolor Sale is the colorway. So many multiple colors. All right, let's open it up. You got some special paper in there with the 5-leaf flower. It's funny, I showed these to my mom. She knew exactly what it was. She said, you know, we used to get picked up in a van that had these flowers on them. And there was a key on the top of the car, on the van, to make it look like a toy. And that was in the 60s. This is the Concepts X Air Max 1 Heavy. I've been wanting it for a while. I've actually been trying to think of what Air Max 1s I would pick up. I'm super stoked that this was the one that came along. I thought I had passed on, that it had passed me by the opportunity. But there were actually 3 versions of the Air Max 1, the Air Max 1 concepts that came out. There was a mellow version, what was the other one? Was it Far Out? Was the other one. And then this one, which was the heavy, and they're all inspired by the rock festivals, music festivals in the 1960s. You see the use of materials here. You have over here you have some pony material in like a cowhide, ripstop around the toe in camo, denim, like kind of like a washed denim, all the way here on the toe panel, toe box, and the side panels. And then you have paisley that goes around the back. There's a special pattern here that says Concepts, right? And it's done in like this woven bandana style. And then on the front, you have the laces, which are in brown. So there's a little guitar pick, silver. I mean, it's made of plastic, but it looks silver, chrome. And it says Nike on one side and Concepts on the other. And the tongue is actually made of some very nice leather. Let's see, let's pull out these insoles. I actually haven't been able to do this yet. So this is an Air Max insole, and you can tell because on the bottom it has that Air Max 1 outsole pattern. And that's just kind of like an Easter egg for people who bothered to pull out their insoles. And I believe that's a logo of Concepts. Nope, that's the A1 logo. It's one of the Air Max 1 logos over there. Is it? Actually, now I don't know. What is that? If you know, leave it in the comments below. But they also put this trippy 60s pattern there as well. On the other shoe, you actually have some other laces included. There's a white lace and this kind of, I don't know what this is. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a suede lace. Very unusual stuff, very special. I'm gonna want to try those on, see how they look on the sneaker. But it is very unusual. On the lateral side, you have a patch swoosh, so it's made like a patch that goes on a shirt. And this one has this white, yellow, red stripe on it. And on the reverse, you have kind of the flower power version of the swoosh. So that's on the medial side of both sneakers. The sneakers kind of mirror each other. It's kind of hard to tell because they're so wild, kind of in that what they call it, the what the style. But they are actually mirrors of each other. Like this part is both camo ripstop. On the Toebox, you also have the Concepts kind of iconography logo, which is a slash star and a crescent moon. And then moving up from there, you actually also have some corduroy and some implied corduroy. So this is definitely corduroy here on the top, I say. And then the inside is supposed to look kind of, oh, it's not like corduroy. It's like the collar of a bomber jacket is what it's like. Classic Air Max 1 midsole, not the big bubble, it's the retro version. It's kind of a sail color with some brown speckle that goes all the way around, and even on the air bubble you have brown speckle. Air bubble is clear, and the pillars inside are gum colored to match the outsole. So these sneakers came out last year for Air Max Day in 2022. That's March 26, 2022. And this year, I actually don't know what's coming out in Air Max Day this year, but we do know that Air Max Day is March 26 every year. I got these on March 17, was it, or 18 when the store opened. So it's been almost a year since I lost that first raffle wanting to get these. And you know, it finds a way. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And that's one of the things that I really found about sneaker pickups and what it's like if I'm not able to get exactly the pair I want. Just move on. Just move on, because if it's meant to be, it'll come back to you. That I really believe that. And if it's not, it's just not. And on top of that, know that there are always releases coming out. There are always new sneakers coming out, so you don't have to worry too much or pay resale or anything like that, unless that really is something that you're trying to collect, and they're really not gonna make it again. All that said, Atmos opening up in Manila is great news for all of us if you are a sneakerhead and you like collaboration sneakers. If you like special sneakers, Nike SPs, stuff like that, expect Atmos to be able to maintain this level over the coming years. Look forward to their opening store. Right now there's a pop-up. There was a little bit of pushing and shoving and big lines on their first day. We were lucky enough to be on the preview, which was a day before. And even then, we lined up for 90 minutes. You got inside and they had a lot. They had the Tom Sachs general purpose shoe. I passed on those. You can look it up. Why? Well, we don't know anything yet. It's still to be determined, but I was not confident that I would enjoy those shoes immediately, so I decided to pass on the general purpose shoe. But they did have the Vomeros there. Those were great. They had 4 different kinds of Air Max 1. They had Dunks that had been sold out. They had the Lost and Found. They had the white cement Jordan 3s that just came out, and then they had a bunch of other stuff from other brands. You guys know me. I'm mostly a Nike, Jordan, a little bit of Converse guy for reasons. But needless to say, I'm happy with the swoosh. I really enjoy all of the stuff that we're getting. And sometimes something like this, it's just meant to be, comes back for you to enjoy. In terms of sizing, they fit just like any other Air Max 1. In terms of comfort, they fit just like any other Air Max 1, which is true to size, a little bit narrow. No need to go up a size. No need to go up half a size. In Atmos, these cost me 9,000 pesos, which was great. It's kind of perfect. So what's your experience? Have you been to Atmos? Are you excited to go? Are you gonna wait for the crowds to die down? I'd like to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section down below. Maybe you want to tell your story about when you went to an Atmos in another country, and maybe you want to tell a story about what it was like to go to Atmos here. I would love to hear from you. I'm Keo Kosha. I wish you guys good luck. I wish you guys good health. I wish you guys great pickups, even if they're delayed a bit, even if they're delayed a year. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Peace.